So conference this week is actually our 10-year anniversary celebration. On Sunday, we celebrated 10 years of having a beautiful community and a place to practice and people to practice with. So I always say on our anniversary, and especially this being significant because it's our 10-year, our decade anniversary, that it's not my anniversary, that it's your anniversary. It's your anniversary for finding your yoga practice. So I want all of you to remember your first yoga class, the first time you walked in and did yoga and how you felt during or after class. And then maybe think of your first Ashtanga class. For some of you, that was two different things, you know. I always find that people that do Ashtanga that really fall in love with it felt like the first time they did Ashtanga, they kind of felt like they were coming home to something, even though they had never done it before. Like it just had this really familiar feel to it, like something they'd experienced before. And Guruji used to say that if you found yoga in this lifetime, it meant that you had yoga in a past life. And he kind of believed that it was something that kind of pulled you back in, you know, like, and I think some of us have that sense of like that pulling sensation of yoga, even like when we're lazy or we're in and out of it, like there's something that pulls us back, you know. My personal belief system on it is that we find yoga when we're supposed to. Having been a teacher for a long time, I can't tell you how many times people have said to me, oh, I wish I found yoga when I was younger. If I found yoga when I was 10, I'd be so good and flexible and, you know, all this kind of stuff that we think in our heads. But the truth is, and again, it's my belief system, but I really believe that we find yoga exactly when we're supposed to, or we find the practice of Ashtanga when we're supposed to. And I also kind of feel like it's something that, at least I feel like I couldn't have missed. Like I might have turned right or I might have turned left, but it was on my path. I was going to find it, you know. So in that sense, for the anniversary, I want all of you to celebrate that you found it. And that, you know, we always say what an honor it is to be a student and to really be disciplined and dedicated to some study, something that you want to dive into and become an expert in or become better at, you know. So we say it's an honor to have found a practice, it's an honor to be a student. And last week I was saying to you guys that what's unique about the yoga practice is that, you know, you might have decided you wanted to be more physically fit and found a good personal trainer and gone to a gym and become an expert at being healthy physically. Or maybe you've decided that you wanted to learn how to play classical Spanish guitar and you go out and find the best guitar teacher in Orange County and you diligently study. But the fact that you guys have chosen yoga means that you've chosen a discipline where you're not only going to create physical health, but that we've all chosen to create some type of a spiritual health or to move forward on our spiritual path. And that's something that we have found that we're going to have the rest of our life. You know, we have to celebrate today a school that we found, a Sangha, a community to practice with, a teacher-student relationship, which I personally think is very special as well in this particular culture to us to find that and to have a teacher or teachers that we stay with and grow old with as well, I think is something very unique. So for the anniversary, I want all of you to celebrate finding yoga, that it's on your path, that you are a student of this, that you have chosen a discipline. And as well, I want you guys to also think of your future in yoga. So about a month or so ago, the website for Pacific Ashtanga went down. And we couldn't figure it out very quickly. Why it had gone down, or that's not my strength, I should say. I wasn't sure why it had gone down. And a day or so passed before we figured out that our domain had expired. So to understand a little bit about that was that we had, you know, we were going to open the Shala 10 years ago, and the person who created our website opened it like a month before. So lo and behold, right before our 10-year anniversary, the domain expired. So ran around, found this person, had her re-up, because the domain actually doesn't belong to me. It still belonged to her. So she re-upped it for us, and she contacted me and said, okay, you're good for another 10 years. She re-upped it. I guess that's what domains are good for, right? I don't know. But it made me think. I thought, okay, we have pacificashtanga.com for another 10 years. That's going to be 2025. I've got this domain name. And it made me think, like, what's the Shala going to be like in 2025? What are you guys going to be like showing up to the Shala driving or flying here, right? And what are all your practices going to be like? So it's kind of fun for me to think about our future as a school, as a community, and all of you as individuals. This being your spiritual path as well, I hope that for the anniversary, not only do you celebrate finding it and having this and what it's meant in your life thus far, but I also hope you can look forward and look out 10 years from now and kind of create intention on what you want this to be for you, what you want the next 10 years of your school, of your discipline, of your studies to be. Because I think there's something about us holding that gratitude for what we have and also what we look forward to in the present moment in what we have. So for Shavasana today, we are going to, if you guys would like to do personal puja for you to celebrate your anniversary. Lighting a candle usually, and the flowers for us at the Shala mean gratitude, presenting your gratitude for the year, for the 10 years, however long you've practiced. We celebrate 10 years, but maybe you found us 2 years ago, maybe you found us a month ago, maybe you found this practice 5 years ago. Whatever it is, it's your anniversary of that. So being grateful, and then we light the candle of intention. So whatever you might want this next year to bring for you, or even to fast forward and think ahead, like the next 10 years, what do you want this practice or your life to bring for you? So when we do our puja, we'll finish with, I'm going to read a poem by Rumi that Tim read at our beginning puja 10 years ago to all of you while you're in Shavasana for part of our puja today. So this poem is by Rumi, and it's called Work in the Invisible. The prophets have wondered to themselves, how long should we keep pounding this cold iron? How long do we have to whisper into an empty cage? Every motion of created beings comes from the Creator. The first soul pushes, and your second soul responds, beginning. So don't stay timid. Load the ship and set out. No one knows for certain whether the vessel will sink or reach the harbor. Cautious people say, I'll do nothing until I can be sure. But merchants know better. If you do nothing, you lose. Don't be one of those merchants who won't risk the ocean. This is much more important than losing or making money. This is your connection to God. You must set fire to have light. Trust means you're ready to risk what you currently have. Think of your fear and your hope about your livelihood. They make you go to work every day diligently. Now consider what the prophets have done. Abraham wore fire for an anklet. Moses spoke to the sea. David molded iron, and Solomon rode the wind. Work in the invisible world at least as hard as you do in the visible. Be companions with the prophets, even though no one here will know that you are, not even the helpers of the Qab and the Abdals. You can't imagine what prophet will come when one of those generous ones invites you into his fire. Go quickly. Don't say, but will it burn me? Will it hurt? So for our special anniversary, I wanted to, instead of giving a quote, as I usually do for the teachings, I wanted to give all of you, including our extended family out there in the internet world that's following us online, 10 blessings for our anniversary, of course, is your anniversary. So remembering The first day that you ever came to a yoga practice, or your first day you came to Ashtanga, how you felt, and reflecting on how much that means to you. Also looking forward, as we were talking about, 10 years from now, maybe where you'll be in your life and where you'll be in your practice. So this is just an opportunity for me as your teacher to extend you some blessings on your anniversary. So close your eyes. I always like to receive blessings with my eyes closed. May your yoga practice be a gift to you your entire life. May the practice sustain your health and give you moments of transformation. May you wake up and feel inspired and passionate. May you choose to see the miracles that occur in your life, the big ones as well as the little ones. May you always feel loved. And may you always have enough love to give. May you wake up in the morning expecting something wonderful to happen. And Swifty Lazar said, I added, and if it doesn't happen by noon, make it happen. May you believe in the impossible. May the practice and the Shala always be your sacred place. And lastly, may you have strength and grace for all that your life has to give you. And I'd like to finish with a quote by Hafiz. When all the desires are distilled, you will cast just 2 votes: to love more and to be happy.